Chapter 14. The Encampment. The building was old. It appeared abandoned to undiscerning passers-by. A patchwork of mismatched colors of metal, wood, and plastic covered what once had been the display windows of a hardware store, displaying crude graffiti art of local vandals. An overgrowth of healthy vines clawed their way from the sidewalk through the face of the building. Like jagged veins, they split the wood where a sign had boasted the name of the store decades prior, further diminishing its curb appeal. A single door camouflaged itself among the odd mixture of natural and man-made blemishes. It blended in among the sun-bleached gray bricks, and was only visible to those who had a need to pass through it. Like me. The man checked his surroundings multiple times in a paranoid fashion before entering the building with the injured dog. He waved his hand over the center of the door. The action initiated an unlocking mechanism, emitting a series of clicks from the door's interior. The man pushed the door open with his leg, then entered into the darkness. Once inside, the door closed with a slam and relocked itself. It took his eyes a moment to adjust to the dark entryway, but he could see dim light further back in the facility. The sound of disparate conversations and vibrations from the bass of a hip-hop song made his feet tingle in his boots. The man moved deeper into the structure, the light gradually increasing along with the volume of the music with every step he took. The crew must be all here. Good. As he moved through the space, he realized his right leg had become fatigued from carrying the surprisingly heavy dog. A prickling sensation gave way to small shooting pains, causing him to nearly drop the animal. Damn it. Augment right leg 50%. Within seconds, he felt a numbing sensation, followed by coolness, then strength deep within the leg. He could almost see the microscopic repairs occurring in his thigh at the cellular level. The sinews of his muscles sewing themselves back together felt like getting a good pump during a heavy lift. It was an intoxicating feeling. It made him feel powerful. Godlike. A grin curled itself onto his cracked lips.
I see you found yourself a pet. Aw, ain't he cute?
A dark-skinned man with a bulging belly chided. He wore dark green cargo pants, along with an untucked, wrinkled tan shirt and a partially disassembled M4 rifle in his hand. His name was Lloyd Owens, and the man had known him for years. A lifetime ago, they had served together in the army when he was a butter bar, quick to melt in the sun or under the heat of a hot desk lamp. Lloyd was a young enlisted troop then. They rose through the ranks of their respective tiers together, until both retired from service. Despite their differences in their former pay grades, they had considered themselves to be kin and remained close, linked by the unbreakable bond of military brotherhood. Considering Lloyd's comment about the dog, the man recalled a memory of Lloyd as a young soldier. Even back then, he was fat by military standards. Lloyd never seemed to care. Neither did Big Green. The dark complexion of his skin, the folds of his butt chin, the gentle sloping contours of his face, and his loud mouth constantly spewing random bullshit reminded all of the members of his platoon of a walking, talking ass. And from that day forward, like stink on shit, his nickname never left him.
Fuck you, Cheeks,
the man replied, his tone facetious.
Where's that damn doc?
I want to get him patched up." "You a dog lover now, huh, sir?" Cheeks laughed. "Didn't think you still had a heart under all that machinery in you." The man maintained a serious expression, then burst out laughing. "You're one to talk, my nigga. You the amateur botanist over here cultivating all them dead weeds and vines outside. Hey, gotta respect Mother Nature, right? Ain't that part of the philosophy?" Cheeks snickered. "Anyway, I think I saw the doc by the loading bay. He looked bored when I last saw him, so he'll probably be happy to have some business, even if it has 4 legs instead of 3. He cupped his manhood over his pants while thrusting his hips forward. 2 younger soldiers noticed the movement, then howled with laughter, imitating the crude gesture. The man shook his head, smiling, then continued his way toward the back of the building. He made a concerted effort to greet all of the men that entered into his field of vision. The place had a feel and look of a contingency operation, with all of the necessary tech, gear, and weapons to match. It wasn't much, but it was a fitting home for him and his men. In an instant, Mariah Carey's "Always Be My Baby" began to blast from the suspended speakers in the back of the building. Cheeks' voice came over the loudspeaker.
This will go out to the curve of his new friend.
A voice shouted, "Oh, come on, turn that old man music off." The voice came from a young man with a cocoa complexion. From his seat on the crate of old field rations, dressed in a dark brown t-shirt, gray tactical pants, and newly issued matching colored boots, he eyed Cheeks from across the bustle of the indoor encampment. Under his nose, he had groomed a carefully aligned mustache. It made him look a little older than more senior members thought he was, but did little to disguise his inexperienced eyes from Cheeks, his mentor, and model for all things related to military matters. Born Khmer Shaw, Cheeks found this name too basic for the youth, so he nicknamed him Spazer, after the laser by the same name in the old Super Metroid game. The beam was thin and weak, splitting into 3 lines whenever it was fired. Cheeks reasoned that the 3 lines represented the young man's distinct identities as a soldier, gentleman, and smart guy. See the word scholar in army speak. Khmer, having never seen or played the outdated game, never understood the reference, but accepted it all the same. It was a small token of respect from someone he looked up to, and a sign of his complete integration into the unit.
"Oh, what do you know, Spazer?"
Cheeks shouted over the loudspeaker.
"This song is decades older and wiser than you."
Spazer shook his head, making a dismissive hand gesture. The colonel made a sound of mocking disapproval with his tongue at the young man, smiling. "This song is a classic," Spazer replied. "My bad, sir. It's just that this is music my grandma used to listen to, and I ain't heard it in a minute. Brings back memories."
"Good ones, I hope."
"Yeah, mostly." His somber face betrayed his words as he turned his attention back to cleaning his rifle. The colonel wanted to say more, but his arms were burning from carrying the dog.
"Can't use another augmentation right now. Don't want to burn out for the day."
With longer strides, he weaved his way through stacks of tan crates filled with an assortment of munitions, tactical field supplies, and weapons. Along the way, he passed the bars of a field brig. He had welded the bars of the cage to the floor and ceiling himself. It was small, with enough space for only 2 prisoners comfortably. There was no water. Only a dual-function bucket for washing and waste. He had ordered an old military cot to be placed next to the bucket, but it was on back order. Any future prisoner would find themselves sleeping on the cold concrete. Not a comfortable situation. Across from the field prison, a set of thin, green, olive-colored curtains led to a small field clinic. The colonel shouldered his way in. His arms were tingling from holding the mutt, but he gave no indication of pain on his face. The doctor hadn't noticed him enter the diminutive office. A state-of-the-art medical examination bed took up nearly the entire space of the clinic, leaving only room for a spinning stool and a folding table with medical supplies on top of and under it. The doctor's slim figure appeared to be swallowed by his white medical coat. His arms extended to his knees. The hair, black and long, tied up into a ponytail. Everything about him looked stretched out, including his bespectacled face. His slender fingers, meticulously groomed and trimmed, manipulated holographic blocks in the air. Stacking the colored shapes consumed his concentration as he mouthed the words to Mariah Carey's classic #1 hit. The sound of the colonel's boots broke his focus, causing the imaginary blocks to tumble before him. "Catch you at a bad time, Doc Santiago?" the colonel asked. No, it's fine," Doc Santiago said. The voice sounded an octave too low for his youngish-looking face. His Castellano accent flowed like a melody from moist lips. Santiago looked at the panting dog in the colonel's arms. "And who do we have here?" "Just a dog that I found on my way back from a meet. Looks like he's had a hell of a fight with 2 others in the alley." I see. Santiago extended slender fingers, observing the condition of the animal. "It doesn't look too bad." He frowned at the colonel. "I've never worked on a dog before, but I should be able to download the necessary tutorials to help it." "I'll leave you to it then," he said, gently lowering the dog on the examination bed. He rubbed his arms to dissipate encroaching numbness. "Let me know when he's better." "Of course, sir." Santiago gave a deep bow, then set to work. The colonel stared into its eyes as he patted the beast's head. The German shepherd licked his hand while Santiago poked and prodded its injured leg. The dog showed no signs of discomfort or pain. "Don't worry, we'll get you fixed up in no time," the colonel thought.